So this is my experiment. It's a bit of a focused dispersion idea, and I'm trying to now minimize the separation in my point source by obstructing this half or channeling. So the sound from this tweeter is going to have to pressurize or just disperse from this angle in front of the tweeter. Yes, you lose a bit of sensitivity, but the gained staging is where this experiment has led me so far. And just a quick note, I'd like to thank two recent resubscribers to my channel. That is my left ear and my right ear. They recently had a 2.5 month vacation with illness, and now they are back. So thanks, guys. I can now just continue with my little experiment. Now, the reason why this tape is here, this is so I can draw a line when I'm sitting over there, and I'm going to draw the exact flight path from my tweeter that I can observe from the driver's seat. Yeah, so it's sort of more or less got that lens in front of my left ear, more or less almost on the side of that tape. Doesn't even make it to the front of that tape. So that's just my general guide for when I'm going to build this upper mid-range obstruction tower. Now bear with me. So here's my right ear view, and this is just before my departure of my ears. I was getting a nice stage, and the sound from this has to radiate this way and then disperse this way, and most of it is, the direct sound is obstructed. Now eventually I will be rebuilding all of this to try and make a tower of enough drivers to suit my needs in a straight line, because the benefits are appreciable.
Large or important enough to be noticed.
We'll find the right word eventually. So that's what we're going to build. We're going to build one of these over there skis. Now, this is the stuff we're going to be using today. It's kind of a felt, industrial waste kind of stuff. There could be polyester in there, I guess. But it's like the backing of carpet underlay. There's even little bits of wire in it. So yeah, pretty scrappy. But it's making that little layered sandwich kind of thing. Now that's my magnetic held cotton bath mat. We'll just tell it like it is. This is some sort of wire. This was mainly to stop my 6-inch from giving me triple source reflections. And yeah, one thing leads to another, so that's why that's there. And this is also that. Front half of the 6-inch is to stop it from hitting the reflection sources here. This is the cage that we're going to be building our little platform on. So we're just going to cut bits and pieces to fit, to block the 2-inch, 2.5-inch. That's a Dyne Audio automotive driver for a VW Passat. It's part of a 3-way front stage. So here I am just laying down the first piece using that guide sheet that we had. I'm going to go across here. It's the eyeball technique. I think this first invented by a prehistoric man when they were making their first flint cutting implements for skinning wildlife and things like that for their dinners. Now, I also don't want to take away too much of the 6-inch on the first layer, so this first stack is going to have like maybe a little cabin for the 6, and then creep up to block the 2, and also include a flight path for the 2.5 here. So I guess I have to maybe do that on the first layer. I'll cut a circle like that, like an S shape, and then like that. This would be like a total brain melt if you had to do any of this on a computer, you know what I'm saying? I think that's good enough for the first layer. There's still a fair bit in front of that 6. Even then it's not going to be able to hold itself up if I cut too much away. And at this point of a build, especially in this experimental kind of work, is you have to make a decision and then you just have to go with it. And even if that decision was wrong, procrastination is like the worst enemy of thought. So I'm going to the second layer. I'm going to start moving the back in, and I'm just going to keep this bottom shape. So I do a quick one-on-one layover, and I'll just do what I said. One-on-one at the front, and bring the back in a little bit. Second layer made. You put down first layer, put the second layer, maybe not creep too much here at the front. Third layer I'll keep coming in at the back, keep the shape at the front. Actually, I'm a bit too close here. This is the center of my tweeter, so I should include another, say, inch, so I'm not drowning out the tweeter too much. Right, so same shape again, a bit more at the back. There's my bit more. There's my same shape again. It's keeping a pile of scrap. I'll probably use some of it eventually. I don't know how much material is actually needed to use this building technique. Now we're coming up to the 2-inch dome, so we're going to have to start taking in a little bit, whilst leaving its space to propagate out. So basically the same shape. Maybe I even take off half that triangle. Same shape with taking off half that triangle. And like I said, don't procrastinate, just cut. Same shape. So I was moving in, giving the 6-inch some space, and now I'm moving back. What if I just kept the same shape for a sec? There's another. Now see, I'm getting in the way of the 2 there, so let's take some off. Let's take some off. And about halfway through this process, I'll probably stick in vertical support, and I can also super glue just a few dabs. I go dab, 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 keeps all the layers together once I know that I've made the right kind of decision. And I'm just going to shape that side off because it's touching a bit too hard. I want it to be able to sit nicely. There we go. We've got the third layer, and now we're opening up for the two. And now I just need maybe this shape without that little flange. So I'm going to get this one without the flange. See if I've got a piece here that's already ready to go. Ooh, just about. That'll be good for a couple of minutes time. So this one without the flange. I'm keeping it all together. Trying to conserve space. I can do this right now. And like so, and just cut across there. So there's that piece. This piece cut across. Bingo. Yeah, good. Yeah, just cut that corner off. I was watching the angle on my front. A bit more off here. Yeah, so that's that. And now maybe this shape again with just an angle off there. This shape again, angle off. See, we're almost got it here on this one, but not quite. Go fresh. This one here, oh yeah, that's good. With an angle off, so like that. Yeah, there's an angle off. That's the bit we copied. There's the angle off. Not quite enough off. Angle off. Alright, so I'll just copy the shape 2 more times, taking a bit off this side every time, because it's got to fit this slope of the hood there. A bit of a piece reuse here. Put that one down. This is the one that I said take a bit off. Take a bit off. Yep, that's pretty good. There's a bit of a nick there, but I don't really care in the grand scheme of things. I said I was going to do it twice. Getting pretty efficient. And take a bit off for the slope up here. Yeah, that's going on pretty good. God, I guess I'm a third of the way up. This one again with a narrower top. This one again, narrower top. That's close enough for me. Narrower top. No, good enough. Yeah, we're starting to hit this side. And this front face, I'll probably just stick a little bit of this material on it. Keep the visual conscious viewers happy. That one again. See, I'm just grabbing offcuts here and making them fit. Offcut placement. Not too bad. It's kicking up here at the back, just due to divergences in the widths of the pieces. Yeah. Look at this little piece out for you. It's like a sandwich of felt. And let's keep going with this shape. Keep the points on it. Keeping the points on this shape. Oh, there we go. Get some points back. So how's your weekend? Good? Nice. That's a real mongrel piece. Get in there. Alright, some points back and trim, inner trim definitely. Trim, inner trim definitely. Retrim. Yep, that's good. Let's just copy that piece 6 times. See how we go. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's 2 copies. Just if I use the same template, that'll all end up the same. I'm holding a pair of scissors, so it should be fine. So I'm testing out your limits of your patience, if you're still watching. Yeah, so eventually I want to I have to delete this tweeter. It's not meant to be there. The benefits of super tweeterness, because I had a theoretical mathematical spreadsheet that if every frequency got the same amount of subdivisions of the audible frequency range, that there'd be the same benefits of IMD reduction. But it turns out, as far as I was concerned, the separation of the stereo imaging was more apparent to me than any IMD benefit. And also this, like it's above 12k, and 12k is kind of my limit of hearing. Then all this mathematical benefit was in a range that I wasn't even hearing. So, you can sort of have that general feeling up to 15, but actual for hearing 10, 11, 12k, and that's where the information is. So all of the atmospherics in mathematical pure terms were being wasted. So I've now got say 10k up, and this one does, blending up to 9 or 10k. So I want to delete this and maybe replace that one with the Dyne Audio D76 AF, which is superior to this one in many respects, and it could still go up to 5 to 10k to help blend with that one, and it'll also drop down lower to blend with this one, and I can take out some of the 1L 2k out of here and stick it there. This one starts to get a little bit stressed out with 1 to 2k. Yeah, you can play it, but you can't play it loud with punchiness. And I'm all about the loud, baby. I like the loud, especially since we're reducing its sensitivity as we speak. I'm creeping in here on this inner wall. In situ decreep. These are good scissors. That's all I'm going to say. Good scissors. Alright, I'd say we're over halfway. Let's go copy this one 4 times. I'm getting to use less and less material on each slice, which is good. 1. And I'm going to have to make them a bit smaller as I go. We're also adding this more side capturing of this dispersion too, because we only had that one thickness of this cotton, which was quite open to weave. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah. 2 more of these. 2 more, please. And smaller, if that's alright with you. Yeah, so my last video thumbnail was no edit audio, and I'm going to be giving out a test at the end of this, so you better make sure you listen. If you're that crazy, just stick around. Because you've always got the forward button, and the double speed can help you out. Make sure your brain does not melt. This is a brain melting channel. We aim to reduce the amount of smart people in the world. 1 video at a time. We're almost there. It's one of those things where, do I really want to do this? And in an hour's time, when I'm listening, I've done the quick recalibration on the left and right side. I do a quick tune left and right, and that just helps me understand how it went. And we'll be looking for tighter imagery, deeper images, more pinpoint sound sourcing, and the less dispersion. In some respects, I think in my less dispersion path of idealism, I'm actually reducing a lot of the other things which I really like, which is low distortion. So I'd be reaching into another threshold of the amplifiers and another threshold of the speakers, because they're having to work just that tiny bit harder to give you the presentation straight out of these domes, as opposed to off these surfaces and then to the listening position. And a lot of what I've been discovering in getting proper equalization with the acoustic power methodology means that everything is, your brain just can't help it. Everything goes into your brain, and then your brain decides how loud a frequency was. If you had time, or you can't say every sample, let's just say every couple of samples of energy, and we're breaking science here, so every couple of samples you had a snapshot, a frequency response, and then we call that time 1, t equals 1, and then that hits everything. Some of the direct sound hits you, and all of these other sounds hit you, and then we're deep into T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7 in the time series, but that sound did get to you, and it relates back to T1. So it's like the fourth dimension of experiencing that T1, and that's how you decide what the frequency response was, not just the eventual T1 when you hit your ear from here, but all those other things add up to T1 and hit you. So, and then T2 happened, which was slightly different because the music's slightly different. And then T2 makes its journey through time to get to you. So your little brain is like a little adding computer, and it takes everything it heard that it thought was T1, and then T2 and T3. And it's like my acoustic power measuring techniques gives you a more sense of everything that radiated and everything that got reflected. So yeah, it's kind of it flips everything on its head from what I was used to thinking, that only purely direct matters. I do like to reduce everything that's not direct, but I also know that I have to account for everything that's not direct. If you don't account for everything that's not direct, you end up with a zigzaggy center, and you end up with a wider false mid-left and mid-right. And I think this might almost be enough, because it's getting very, very thin up here. So perhaps I'll just speed up the footage now, because I've run out of chitty chat, and I'm starting to think about getting the super glue out and just putting a knob on stuff here. Play the elevator music. One more. Come on, one more. Just one more after dinner mint. I really wanted to go that way. It's annoying. Alright, so I'm going to get the sticky tape. I'm gonna push them that way a bit more, because that's what I wanted. I don't know, like that. Like I really wanted to do that, and now put a space. But I think for proof of concept, we're gonna have to deal with that. I'll do the super gluing later. Just pop this down. Magnet. I've got a magnet there to locate. I remove the tape. we'll see how that goes.
When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when she passes, each one she passes goes ooh. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I will give her